Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Rita's Book Club. On this episode, I'm telling you all about The Catch by Amy Lea. This is the third and last book of the Influencer series, and I've been very curious to read Mel's story. We have watched the sisters Crystal and Tara getting their happy endings, and I also wanted one for Melanie, the last side of this triangle of influencers. In a last-ditch effort to rescue her brand from the brink of irrelevance, Boston fashion influencer Melanie Carlson finds herself in a rural fishing village off the east coast of Canada. The only thing scarier than nature itself is the burly and bearded bed and breakfast owner and fisherman Evan Waller, who single-handedly disproves the theory disproves the theory that Canadians are nice. After a boating accident lands heaven unconscious in the hospital, Mel is mistaken as for his fiancée by his welcoming yet quirky family, who are embroiled in a long-standing feud over the B&B. In a bold attempt to mend family fences, Mel agrees to fake their engagement for 1 week in exchange for Evan's help with her social media content. Amid long hikes and campfire chats, reeling in their budding feelings for each other proves more difficult by the day. But is Mel willing to sacrifice her picture perfect life in the city for a chance at a true, unfiltered love in the wild? This book was so funny. I spent a lot of time just laughing at all the crazy antics both Mel and Heaven got themselves into, that it really felt like such an easy read for me. You know that I love a good rom-com, especially if you have so many of these kinds of tropes in it: enemies to lovers, grumpy meets sunshine, opposites attract, forced proximity, and of course, fake dating. I got to say that I really liked getting to know Melanie on a deeper level. I know that the other two books were focused on the sisters, but I felt like the glimpses we saw of Melanie weren't enough for me to actually form an opinion on her, and I loved how we got to know her, learn about her past, her reasons for doing things a certain way, and what drove her in life. I feel like she was such an interesting and resilient woman, but since she is presented as this fashion influencer, we don't see right away what makes her special and who she truly is. I think that her trip to Canada and meeting Heaven and his family really made us look at her in a different way, and we are meeting her as long as Heaven is, which makes it really special, in my opinion. I loved her unconditional love for her family, especially her brother. She was so protective of him, and I really liked how, by the end of the story, her relationship with him became healthier, and we could see her trying to let him go and live his own life. She would always be there for him, but she needed to let him fly. Especially because after that she was able to free herself, to live her own life and make some selfish decisions in order to be happy. Honestly, I think Heaven and his own family were really fundamental on that part. They made her feel welcome and like she belonged with them. Since she had such a complicated childhood, she was always hesitant to trust others and to feel like she belonged. And even though the beginning of her relationship with Evan was fake, his family incorporated her into the family and made her feel special and like she knew them all along. It was amazing to see this woman finally finding her own family. And Evan was such a sweetheart. I loved how we are led to believe in the beginning that he is super grumpy, but it turns out that this man is an actual sunshine. He was so loving and caring towards his family, and he knew what he wanted from life. Meeting and falling in love with Mel was so simple for him, and along the story, we see him trying to make up for how grumpy he was on their first meeting. It was super lovely. He was really trying to understand her and her world, and to also make a few sacrifices so he wouldn't lose her. Overall, I really loved their vibe as a couple. They were so funny together, but also so supportive. The chemistry was there from the very first moment, and it was so special to see these two making compromises by the end of it in order to be happy. We need more stories like this. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Instagram at Rita's Book Club for more content. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Happy readings.